Hi Ivy, this is Shanna-Kaye. I'm going to make this video to help you run through how to use your labels in Photoshop Elements. You may hear my little son Kidron in the background. He's sitting in my lap, so if you hear any giggling, that would be him. First, I'm going to show you if you come over to your internet provider. I'm going to click on it here, and I've pulled up the Dropbox album that I sent you with your templates in here. So these are these are the new labels that I had sent. And I've pulled up the soap label in the red label. So I already have it on my computer, but what you can do is take and download these to your computer. And once you have them downloaded, you can put them into a folder on your desktop so you know where they are. And then open up Photoshop Elements. When you open up Elements, it'll look something like this. It's a couple different tones of gray, and you'll have some little bars on the side here. And you may or may not see your little icons and stuff over here. This is under the Edit tab. We're on the Layers tab. So if your Layers tab has not shown up yet, what you can do is come up to the top. If you're using a Windows, it'll still be at the top. I use a Mac, but if you come up to the top to your window button, you'll see a bunch of options, and you're going to press on the Layers tab right here and get the little check mark to come up, and that will be the tab here. Okay, so once we have the Layers tab, this is where I do most of my work. The bottom of it says background, and most of the time I will keep that white. And then the rest of your items are stacked on top of it. The ones on top, like your logo on top, you want that to be up at the top. You don't want to really move that, or it might get hidden away. Your different layers, you have your text layers, which will have a T on them here. And that, if we click on the little icon here, then you'll see where your text starts to disappear. And if you look there, it'll disappear in the middle where the name of the product is. You also have your ingredients here. And these text boxes are ones that you can actually edit. So you can take and double click on your, we'll come over here to your template. If you double click on it here, then you'll see where you can actually start typing. So say you want to name this, let's just put soap, or we'll just put body soap, for example. Okay, and then you can say what kind of product. This is a bar of soap. Let's just say that it's 16 ounces. Okay, so there you've edited your text here. And then you can come over to the ingredients and you can click over on that, which lights up your little text box over here on the corner. And you can put that there, any kind of oils that you have. You know, let's just put coconut oil, scents, you know, etc., etc. You add your ingredients here. If you take and if it's a little bit too far or you have too many ingredients, you can do a couple things. You can move this with your mouse, or you can take and make your box bigger. You can do this by you're going to grab the corners. On a Mac, I press the Command and the T key at the same time, and you can move them. If you're on a Windows, it will probably be the Control key and your T key. And you can move that around and then pull your ingredients text right over here. So those are a couple options. We'll go back to how we had it in the beginning. So those are some options for changing your ingredients and adding everything here. Another thing you asked was, how do you change the color? I've made a couple labels for each thing with the different lines that you asked for, just so it would be easier for you to go ahead and pull each one up. But if you want to change the color, you just take and press on your red, wherever your line is here, and you're going to see the little change color thing pop up. And what you can do is come over on the left side, you'll have a little white box and a little black box. And if you click on it, it'll pull up your colors. And you can change your color by just selecting one of them here. So let's say we wanted to make it just a pretty purple, okay? So we selected it. Then you can press your K key, and that will open up your paintbrush, or you can come click the paintbrush icon and paint it right on top. And that's going to take and change the color of your line here. You can change it to black if you want to switch the colors and change it over to black. Whatever color you need, you can change there. The other thing is you can change your picture. If you need to change your picture, you can open up the photo and drag and drop it onto the template. And I have the picture at 25% here. So like if we click it on and off, you can see. I have it at 25% because if it's at 100%, then you can't see your ingredients as well. So we have it at 25%, but if you decided you wanted it a little bit brighter here, a little more contrasted, then you can change that. Put it back at 25. And that's the basics for doing it. So let's say that we got it, let's put it back to red. What I just did was take the eyedropper tool, which is over here. Let me find it. Okay, it's this little eyedropper up here. It's the fourth tool down, and you can press I on your keypad, and it'll do it. So if you go over any color, go over this gold color, you'll see your little paint bucket swatch over here will change, or you can go over the red, and then you can take and click on here and open up your paint bucket and paint it back red. Okay, so once we have that done, to take and to save it where you can actually put it on a label, we're going to go over to the background layer here and take your mouse and hold down the right side of your mouse, which will pull up your little click menu, and we're going to flatten the image. When you flatten it, it's going to take all these layers and make it where you can't change them. Okay? You're not saving over your template, so you're okay. You won't save over your work that you have on your template, so you're all right there. But if you take and do this, then we're going to save it, and you can just press your Control, Shift, and S key, or Command, Shift, and S if you're on a Mac. And we'll just go ahead and pull, just say New Folder for Ivy here. So you make your little folder, and then on here, the default is to save it as a Photoshop document. A Photoshop document is where you have your layers, but we don't need it as a layer. We need it either as a JPEG, which is down here in the list, or a PNG. I'll explain how to do PNGs in a minute, but let's save it for a JPEG first. So we have up here, it'll say the soap label red, and it says edited one. Well, I like things to be really nice, so I just tell it to save it with the original name on it here, and we'll save. Whenever we push the save button, it's going to ask us, do you want it to be really good quality? Do you not care as much and you want a smaller file? Let's just go ahead and do it at big quality because it's not that big of a file. And then we're going to take, we've already got that one saved as a JPEG. And let's go ahead and we're going to save another one. And we're going to do it as a PNG so I can show you the difference. Okay. So when you save it as a PNG, it'll tell you if you want to interlace or non. So you just keep the non option. Okay, and when you open those up, okay, so we're going to go back. We're going to open our folder here, and we have our PNG and our JPEG. So let's open the PNG, which is here. I guess it's actually already open since we just saved it. So we'll go ahead and open the JPEG then. So we have both of them. Make it a little smaller. So if you look at these two, we're just clicking in between them. They look exactly the same. A JPEG is saved as like a picture format. A PNG is a little bit different. It's very similar to a JPEG, but you can drag and drop it a lot easier. If you take and you click on your picture. Okay. Let's see. Actually, I forgot to do something. My bad. Whenever you do it as a PNG, you actually want to take your background layer off before you flatten it. So let's go back and we're going to take our background layer off. Okay. And let me make it a quick fix real quick. I'm going to add just a little bit here so it'll work. Okay, so now we're going to save it. You can click any of these here and just put merge visible. And when you merge it visible, it's going to save it on this layer. And when you click off, you just have this little checkerboard. Okay, so we can save this one. We're going to save this as our PNG. Bye. And come back down and save it as our PNG. Okay. When you have your PNG, they're a little easier because they're on a transparent background. That's what this little gray and white box is behind it. So when you want to open up, see, we can move this one around. So that means, you know, if you have, we'll open a new document. Let's say we're going to have an 8.5 by 11. I don't remember quite how big this one is. So it may not quite fit. Let's see. If we have an 8.5 by 11, then our label is going to just fit on that 8.5 by 11. So that means we can put a couple of these. Now you have to remember that right now you don't want to put it all the way there, but you can put a couple of your PNGs and you just drag. If you see what I'm doing is I'm clicking one of these down here and I'm just dragging and dropping it on it, and it'll put it right on top. So then see, you've got a couple of them, and you can put a couple of these onto your paper. Put another one just so you can see.
Hey. Bye, hold on it.
There we go. Okay, once you have that done, you can come back over here and right click and flatten your image. Once it's flattened, we can save it, and we're going to save it as a JPEG. So let's just put soap label 3 on it. Okay, it's going to ask us how big we want it. We're going to tell it 12, which is the biggest. And then now we have this saved. So if your labels that you're printing on are an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, then this is going to print you 3 labels. And I'm not sure what kind of labels you're using, but this is how I would do it. If you're using a certain size label, then you may have to resize it according to the measurements for the labels you're using. But this is how you could get a couple of them on one piece of paper. You could probably even do 4 with this particular size label. Okay, so those are the main things on that. I'm going to go ahead and stop this video and then make another one for the other questions you had.